Good morning, good morning. It's Roadroo.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. Oh, awesome time yesterday at the brand new professional soccer team in Oakland had a game. The Oakland Roots, like Ruda. I'm like, wait, maybe we should sponsor this team. Yeah, the Oakland Roots had an exhibition game. Really fun. The reason I get so excited is because my son played for the San Jose Earthquake Academy. I used to drive down to San Jose during rush hour, at least an hour each way for practice. So having a team close by, a professional soccer team close by, was a treat. And they looked okay. They were playing a team from Juarez, Mexico. Obviously, Mexico, every other country besides the U.S. is great at soccer. And there's a reason for that. In case you're wondering, the reason is that it's the only sport in their country. It's the number one sport in every single country except the U.S. Just about every single country. I think Australia, the number one sport is rugby. You guys will have to chime in, or cricket. But soccer is gigantic around the world. So, if you're growing up in Mexico and you're the best athlete in Mexico, what are you going to do? You're going to play soccer. If you're growing up in the United States and you're the best athlete in the United States, what are you going to do? You're going to play football, baseball, or basketball. At least that's the way it's been for the past 100 years or so. Future, I think, is different. I think really good athletes are getting into soccer. I'm a big fan of soccer. As you can tell, my son's a soccer player. So there you have it. Had a great time at the game. But right before I went to the game, I posted the fourth timeline update on the private road at Road to Ruta. Here's all of them right here. This one is called Rebuilding After the Crash. This one's the end of the line. Computers to attack each other. Timeline update. And then I have posted these on the public YouTube channel. Go to Road to Ruta. Timeline part 1 and timeline part 2. And in there, I show reasons why we're in the hot zone right now for a collapse. Or at least the beginnings of something much like 2008. Now, 2008, from the real beginnings of the collapse, which was middle of September. Where are we approaching? Middle of September. It took about September, October, November, December, 4 or 5 months to ultimately for the bailout to happen and everything to turn around. And then all of a sudden, who was it back then? I keep thinking Mnuchin. Tim Geithner, the Treasury Secretary, to get with the Fed, to get with the banks and the media to say, okay, the bottom is in. And everybody said it the same day. I said, it's time to buy in. They're going to rig it higher. And so they've rigged it artificially higher since then. It'll be 11 years on Wednesday. So, and I go into reasons why in those first two, why I think September 11th is a big day, obviously because of what happened on 9/11 in 2001, but also what happened on 9/11 in 2008. And at 11 o'clock in the morning, according to Senator Kanjorski, $500 billion instantly flew out of the money market funds. There was an electronic run on the banks. And they were discussing what would happen if they didn't do anything, what would happen to the system. So it will be 11 years to the day on Wednesday. Will something happen again? I put the odds at a 3% chance. Whereas the odds of something like that happening over the next 3 or 4 months, each day is probably 1% chance. So it's probably nothing's going to happen. And the other thing is, we didn't even know it on September 11th back in 2008. We didn't know it. Nobody knew what was going on behind the scenes. It wasn't until Kanjorski came out the next week and said, oh my God, we just suffered through something earth-shattering. And then everything fell apart. I think it was the Monday after that Lehman Brothers announced bankruptcy and blah, blah, blah. And the derivative bubble started going sideways and the AIG bailout and all this stuff happened. So will something happen on September 11th this year? And if it does, will we even know about it? Will it be behind the scenes? But I think coming into September, October, November, we are in the hot spot for things falling apart. So if you want to see my latest update, or you want to see all 4 updates and the 2 timelines, join the private road, or also on Patreon. Join my Patreon channel. I posted it there too. So check it out. And also, I did an interview with Dave, X22 Report Spotlight, where I talk about what's happening and why. And I've been talking to Dave for a long time on X22, and he kind of, after you talk to me for a while, you get the whole Road to Ruta thing. The comics are the comics. People say, "Oh, you're just making it up." I'm like, I'm not making up a Fed comic. You want the link? I'll give you the link. Just type in Federal Reserve Bank of Boston Wishes and Rainbows or Road to Ruta, and you're going to find the Fed comic book still on their site. Now, they took off the big red exclamation point. That when it was first announced, that's what was right after him. Big, like double type exclamation points. This is the Fed Boston, and that was on January 1st, 2008. And then we had the crash on 9/11. No, January 1st, 2007. Then we had the crash in September 11th, 2008. But those exclamation points stayed on there until I started exposing what this comic book was really saying. So they stayed on there for months. And I was pointing out, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I didn't know what it was right away. I thought it was some evil plot for the Fed just to get people to spend money. But the more I dug in, I'm like, who these characters are, what does this comic book mean, and all that. And Dave's been along for that ride, so he's heard it all from me. And he asked some great questions. And about the articles I used to write about the Economist magazine covers. They weren't articles; they were PDF reports. He asked me to post this, and I did. The World in 2017 was the last one I did. It's a free download for anybody who wants to go to Road to Ruta. It's right at the top. Right there, you hit the download, and voila, and there it is. And it's 54 pages. I analyzed the crap out of this baby. Now, mind you, I did this in December of 2016. So, of course, a lot of things didn't happen because it's strange because I think in 2017 and 18, it was like something odd happened with the boom of the cryptos and then the bust of the cryptos, and everything seemed to just be delayed. And I think we're going to be back on that path. So a lot of the stuff that I analyzed for back then, I think will happen over the next year. We'll find out, right? It's just my analysis. And it's fun to read. If you're into tarot cards, I analyze. I had to do a lot of research on this one, on what these tarot cards mean, the way they're tilted, what does that mean, the Tower card, the Judgment card, the World card. You see that picture of the Grand Canyon in there right in the middle? And here we go, walking through the canyon. The Death card, what does that mean? 3D printers are coming. That's your replicator right there. The Wheel of Fortune in Europe. So check it out. And ultimately, the Star card is very positive, extremely positive. So all those doom and gloomers didn't like the ending that I came up with. But hey, I'm just reading the tarot cards, my friends. So let's go to the Wheel of Fortune. Let's go to Europe. Remember, they're saying, oh, everything's fine, right? And the largest trouble bank is where? In Germany, it's Deutsche Bank. And here we have the euro jumps as Germany hints at fiscal stimulus. The euro and bond yields are rising this morning following a Reuters headline suggesting, quote, Germany is considering a shadow budget with the aim to increase public investments beyond restrictions of national debt rules. There you go, infinity money. The shadow budget is not aimed to increase public investments. The shadow budget is aimed to bail out Deutsche Bank, or potentially bail out Deutsche Bank, or try to bail out Deutsche Bank. How do you bail out $50 trillion in derivatives? You don't. Oh, speaking of derivatives, I am talking to Litecoin Lisa on her channel today about derivatives. So make sure you like and subscribe to her YouTube channel as well. All right. However, Bloomberg reports Deputy Finance Minister Bette Hedgedorn confirmed that the German government's 2020 budget and fiscal planning through 2023 foresees balanced budgets with no debt. Where have we heard that before? So yeah, look for the Germany bailout. And it's got nothing to do with helping the little guy. It's got everything to do with their largest derivative bank holder, the largest bank derivative holder in the world, Deutsche Bank, failing miserably. And yeah, Germany will probably try to bail them out. But then people down in Greece and in Italy and Portugal and Spain are going to go, hey, what's this? I thought we had to keep everything in line. What about the EU rules? How come the rules change when it comes to Germany? I don't know, my friends. I think everything's going to go a little sideways very soon. So hang on to your hat. I think this is just a hint that Germany plans on bailing out the world, which is fine. Keep it coming. People ask me, why do you want this crash so much? I don't want this crash. I absolutely don't, but I don't want to give these problems or worse to my kids. So it's got to crash. If you don't crash, then it just gets worse and worse and worse. That's how we got in this problem in the first place. And the derivative problem, there's no crypto solution to the derivative problem. The derivative problem is quadrillions of dollars. Quadrillions of dollars in derivative side bets. You don't fix that with cryptos. If they turn into some crypto thing, that's even worse for cryptos. I mean, the cryptos have their share of derivatives already. What do you think exchanges, all the exchanges deal in is derivatives, crypto derivatives. The back system, which is coming out. Now, there was $1 billion worth of Bitcoin that got transferred, consolidated into one wallet. It's probably the back storage. I think the back is one big con job, another tool in the arsenal of the market riggers. Just like SLV was for silver and GLD is for gold. It's a facade. It's a fake front. Because all you got to do is look at the volumes. If they put $1 billion into the back warehouse, so we have $1 billion of crypto, so it's legitimate that we trade $500 million every day on this on this derivative exchange. No, it's not legitimate. It's a crock of shit. But ultimately, it won't be right away, but they'll be doing a $500 million a day in volume, and with only the billion in the warehouse, so to speak. And it's all the insiders playing their games. So what do I think will happen? Who knows? But I do know that BACT is not legit. It is the same as GLD. It is the same as SLV. It is another tool for manipulation of the price of Bitcoin. And if they throw the other coins in there, yeah, the other coins will get manipulated just as much. And it is unlimited, the amount of manipulation that can go on. People are like, oh, Pix, you don't know how big the crypto market is. They can't manipulate it. How big is the silver market? How big is the gold market? And they've been manipulated for 100 years. It's a hell of a lot bigger than the crypto market. Silver, last I heard, it was a $5 trillion market. $5 trillion, according to, who was it? I think it was Reuters or Financial Times. They said the $5 trillion silver market, $5 trillion per year. That was back then. So what's the crypto market? Less than $1 trillion. Yeah, right? Less than $1 trillion. Silver blows. And do they have any problem rigging the silver market? No. And where is it facilitated? On the COMEX. Who's COMEX owned by? ICE. Who is backed, owned by? Same mofos. ICE. Free Reggie, free Reggie, free Reggie. Anyway, so that's what's going on right now. I think I'm going to be doing a Q&A later today. I'll put a live Q&A. Just any questions you want. I'm thinking probably, let's go with 12 noon Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. So we'll live chat, just Q&A. I won't come with any agenda. And if you have questions, just type them into the chat room and I'll do my best to answer them. And if I don't know, I'll say, hi, I don't know. And unfortunately, I hear that people have been texting me that not only do I have trolls in other chat rooms trolling me, some of the crypto influencers are trolling me as well. Come on, guys. Really? I I I said, if you see anything, just let me know, but come on. Yeah, anybody can disagree with my work, but don't troll me or my business. All right? Thank you, guys. Anyway, go to Road to Ruta, download your free copy of The World in 2017, have some fun with that. It's BitchWeir, roadtoruta.com. Talk to you later.